welcome to my journey into another meal prep. This one looks so good. I'm excited to eat it. One recipe I made before I like is for breakfast. They're called Keto French Toast Egg Puffs, and they're very good. Did I tell you? I've already filmed it. I don't know if I told you. When you serve them, I think I did. Serve them with some pancake syrup. You want to keep them keto, use your sugar-free. If you want to keep it low carb, use your sugar-free. Or don't use anything, but the syrup sets them off. And then for lunch, now this is the one that's a little different. It is high protein. I consider it low carb. I'm not keto. So if I want fruit, I'm going to eat fruit. I can just count it in my carbs, and if there's any fiber in it, then okay, but fruit's going to have high carbs because it's sugar. But I'm not keto, so the recipe is I can't even remember what it's called. Pineapple barbecue chicken. So I think maybe that's it, and everything on it is high protein. Except the pineapple, and there's not enough pineapple on it to even bother me. I still consider it low carb for the amount of pineapple that's on it. If you want to go lower carb, leave the pineapple off, but it looks like it's going to be so much more delicious with that pineapple on there. I kind of wish I had put some of the juice on there, but that would have even upped it more. But I'm still calling this high protein, low carb because it is a small amount of fruit and it's fine by me. That's what I say. If you don't want it, just don't put it on there and just eat the rest of it because the rest of it is sugar-free and protein. Yep. So it all evens out for me with that much protein. So that's what we're having today. And everything was easy. There was nothing hard because I don't like hard recipes. So that's it for me. I guess I don't have anything else to tell you. We'll just turn around and get started cooking. We're going to start with our Keto French Toast Egg Puffs. Now this is a tried and true recipe because I made it, but it's from Peace, Love, and Low Carb. So we need a blender. We got 8 eggs in our blender, and to that we need to add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. I'm just going to put it in a couple little chunks. Maybe that'll help it blend better. Then we need 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. If you don't have heavy cream, I would just use milk. Whatever kind of milk you have. I don't see how that would be a problem. Heavy cream is because this is keto, and keto uses a lot of heavy cream, which I just happen to have because I mix it with half and half for my coffee. A teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh, I think I'm about out. There we go. That's it. I'm looking at my recipe over here. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Fourth cup of coconut flour. Now, I don't know if it works with any other kind of flour or not because I've never tried it. So I would say do that at your own discretion. And then 2 tablespoons of whatever kind of granular sugar substitute you like. I like this Trivia Sweet Complete, what I'm using right now. Then a teaspoon of baking soda. Then that is everything. Let's make sure we got eggs, cream cheese, heavy cream, vanilla, cinnamon, coconut flour, granular sweetener, baking powder. There we go. We got everything. Now we're going to, let me find the lid. We're going to blend this until it's smooth. Have I got it on the wrong way? No? Yes? Now, we are going to blend this until it's smooth. And then we might need to scrape it down a little bit. Let's scrape that down and give us a spatula. I see some cream cheese on the sides and maybe some cinnamon and different things. I want to make sure everything's incorporated. Now go ahead and have your oven preheated to 350 and spray a 12-cup muffin tin. Okay, I think everything is blended. Now, let's get our muffin pan. Let me slide you back down. And we're going to fill each one. Okay, we had enough for all 12. Some of these smaller ones I'm going to go back and top off. Okay, these are going in the oven for 25 minutes until they're like puffy and the center is set. They're going to rise, but you don't want the center to be runny. So just keep an eye on them. All right, we're going to start on our lunch while breakfast is in the oven. I've already diced 6 pieces of bacon, and if you can believe it, that is only 6 pieces of bacon. That looks like too much. So we'll see. And then we need 4 chicken breasts thin. So what I'm going to do, instead of pounding these out, because that's really too much chicken for me, if this knife will cooperate, I'm going to cut them, and this is thin right there, but I'm going to try to cut them, I think it's going to work, in half horizontally. Oh, it worked. I can't believe it. My knives need sharpening. So I'm surprised this one's working. All right, now what I'm going to do, ooh, that don't look good. Let me get rid of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pound them out a little bit. So let me get my plastic and my meat mallet. Okay, now what I have to the side is a 9x13 baking dish that I've sprayed. So I'm going to put them in there. Now what I do is, I'm going to try not to touch that with my hand. Well, it doesn't matter if I touch the plastic wrap, just not the box. I got 2 sheets of plastic down, and I'm going to cover it with 2 sheets of plastic on top, just to make sure that we don't pound through it. Now, I'm not going to pound it super thin, but thinner than this. Okay, I think that is good. I'm going to try to get them nice and even. So I'm going to put them, I'm going to do each one and put them over in my baking dish. All right, here are our chicken breasts. We just want to salt them and pepper them. And we're just not big pepper people, so I won't do much. Now we're just going to set these aside. Here are our French toast egg puffs, straight out of the oven, 25 minutes. You can see the center is set. They puffed up. Now they need to sit in the pan for 5 minutes, and then we'll turn them out. We'll use like a little rubber spatula or something to get them out, and then we'll let them cool completely before we package them up. But we'll look at them here in a little bit. While the puffs are cooling, I have cranked my oven up to 400. And we're going to cook our bacon. So we'll just let that cook while we're doing our puffs and our pineapple and stuff like that. But we do have our chicken done, so that's cool. It has been 5 minutes. Let's see how easily these come out. I have my little bitty spatula. I'm scared I'm going to break it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just run it around it. Okay, there they are. Now this you can do when you serve them. I'm just going to do it now, and if the powdered sugar melt into it, that's okay. I'm not concerned about that. But this is powdered monk fruit. I'm sure they sell powdered other stuff, but I've had this for a while. It really needs to be used, so I was glad this called for it. Just shake it on. Now when you serve these, serve them with some sugar. Look, I'm making a mess. There's a little bit left. Serve them with syrup. And if you want to keep them low carb, keto, whatever, sugar-free syrup. Now let's get back to our chicken. We are ready to top our chicken. Now I'm using no sugar added, Sweet Baby Ray's. I think they just call it Ray's instead of Sweet Baby. Look, from the makers of Sweet, I guess they don't call it sweet because there's no sugar in it. I bet you that's why. So we need a cup of it. That seems like an awful lot to me, but I'm going for it. And if I don't use it all, I can't use this barbecue sauce because it will have chicken. Yeah, that's way too much. And the recipe only calls for 4 chicken breasts. So when I do my calculations, it's only going to have, it's not even going to be a full half a cup, I don't think. Yeah, we'll just say half a cup. Okay, so see, that's what we got left. And it is not usable, so I hate that. Then the next thing we need is 1 cup of pineapple. Now, it says diced pineapple, but I'm just using pineapple tidbits because they're already diced. Just canned pineapple tidbits. You can use fresh. You can use pineapple chunks and just dice them yourself, which is what I was going to do before I realized I had the tidbits. All right, next thing is our bacon. How is this not going to be good? Next, it calls for some red onion. It calls for a 1/4 cup, but I'm not measuring it. What I'm doing, it says sliced. I'm just doing 1 slice, and that's what I'm going to put on each chicken. It's just 1 slice. Probably should have had a bigger one for that, but that's okay. And then the last thing is mozzarella. Now it calls for, let me move this. I'm going to chop the rest of that and put it in the refrigerator. It calls for a cup of mozzarella. That's too much for me because I don't like a big slab of cheese on my chicken that when you cut it, it just, you know, slides. So I've got a half a cup and I'm just going to sprinkle it. And if we don't use a half a cup, then I'll just adjust my recipe. Now you can put as much cheese on there if you want to, but dishes like this, that cheese just tends to turn into one big, like I said, one big slab. And I don't really care for that. Now this goes in the oven at 400 for, it says 25 to 30 minutes. Since these are the, okay, I've got that much left, we'll just say a cup. I'm not going to put any more on there. Since I pounded these thinner, I don't know if it's going to take that long. I'm going to check their temperature at 20 minutes. They need to be 165. Here is our chicken fresh out of the oven. I did 20 minutes and I checked my temperature, and the size of my chicken, it was 165 degrees. So depending on the size of your chicken, you cook it and test the temperature until it reaches the 165 degree mark. So we're going to let this cool, and then we're going to plate it up. All right, let's dish up our delicious looking chicken. I am excited to dive into this. Oh my goodness. Now I've got a little, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat it all. Of course, that is only a quarter of a chicken breast, some bigger than others. But here is what some of my pineapples fell off. I don't know who they go to, so. I made some Brussels sprouts to go with it. See if I can get in some vegetables. And I'm looking at this. I'm not going to be able to eat all this. I don't know what I'm thinking. But I'll eat what I can. I've been wanting some Brussels sprouts because David said if he never had another one, it would be too soon. So I can't fix him none. And I've had these in the freezer for a while. Just never think about getting them out. And I am not putting them in the calorie count or anything because it's a green vegetable. I'm not worried about it. I'm just not worried about it. All right. Let's see what we did. Nope. Before that, we got one more thing to do. We got to garnish with some green onion. Now, it says to garnish with some pineapple too, but I don't want any more carbs from the pineapple. I think there's enough in the chicken. This is really too much green onion, but I don't have a use for any of it, so there we go. Now, let's see what we did today. Well, guess what? Somebody didn't have their camera turned on when she was filming what we did. You know what we did, but I always do a little ending so I can give you the stats of the recipe. Why we don't have it. So I'm just going to tell you. The nutrition for the puffs is from her website because I make the recipe exactly like she says, so I don't have to refigure. So a serving is 2 muffins. The calories are 256. The carbs are 3 minus 1 fiber, so that's 2 net carbs and 12 grams of protein. And I round up and I round down. So that's good. That is for 2 little puffy muffins, 12 grams of protein. I think that's good. If you want to add a little something to the side, like maybe a couple pieces of bacon or sausage or something to ump up that protein, then you can do that. Then for the pineapple barbecue chicken with bacon, that's what it's called. I refigured it for the amounts I used. I said I used a half a cup of sauce, but I was looking at it when I was edging. I used a 1/4 cup, and that's what I put for the cheese too. So when I put it in with my amounts that I made, and that's what I'll have on the website. 4 servings, 305 calories, 10 net carbs, and that's with the pineapple. So I definitely consider that low carb. I was not sure how that was going to work out, but look at there. Not bad at all. And get this, 42 grams of protein. I told you it had protein. So, yes ma'am. That is high protein, low carb today. I was worried that pineapple was going to mess it up, but it absolutely did not. Because like we already said, we're not keto. Well, I'm not. You might be. So anyway, that is it for this video. I hope if you're prepping something good. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you tomorrow for my meals for the week.